Let me look at another very interesting and equally important subject, because this has to do with Nigerians stranded in Libya and those of them who have returned, and the call for the compensation of some of those victims. What do you think that the government is doing now? Because if there's a call for compensation of those, will it be in order that the government responds?
The government has boxed itself to a corner in
How?
the case of Libya.
How?
The tragic development in Libya has to be blamed on the allied forces of imperialism led by the United States under President Obama and the connivance of Nigeria and South Africa in the Security Council. At the time, those who wanted the oil of Libya, like Iraq, decided to invade that country. The African Union, Nigeria and South Africa connived without considering our strategic and political interest in Libya. Now you now have a problem in our hands. Libya under Gaddafi, with all his errors,
I'm wondering the role
and
of
shortcomings.
I'm wondering the role of Nigeria in conniving, because could you clarify that?
Nigeria and South Africa in the Security Council refused to vote against it, refused to mobilize African Union against the invasion of Libya. And when you look at what happened, look at what has happened to Africa. That country is currently being, five criminal gangs are laying claim to the leadership of that country today.
But what do you think about the compensation?
Now you're not going to have, no, the point I'm making is that Nigeria, again, apart from such connivance, the government of Nigeria has refused, without any explanation, to make a declaration to allow Nigerians, victims of human rights, to access the African Court on Human and People's Rights in Arusha, Tanzania. 2 years ago, I approached the court. Why are you debarring me from accessing the court? Because the government of my country has refused to allow me to come. And by a split decision of 7-3, I lost the case.
How do we address the issue of compensation?
No, I'm saying that Nigeria has to, the government of Nigeria has to recognize the African Court on Human and People's Rights, so that victims of human rights in any African country can approach that court, just like ECOWAS.
They can approach the
Community Court of Justice.
Let me get this straight.
For violations,
they can get there and then ask for compensation?
Oh,
Is
yes.
that what you say?
Oh, yes. For violations that occur in West Africa, in any of the member states of West Africa, of ECOWAS, you can go to the Community Court of Justice in Abuja. And we have got a lot of judgment in that court. The last one, Oguke and the Republic of Ghana, a secondary school student, a 13-year-old, 15-year-old secondary school student, was killed, in a swimming incident in Tema, in Ghana. I went to court on behalf of the parents, and the ECOWAS court awarded $250,000 against the government of Ghana. I'm trying to pursue, the payment of the money. In our own case, a boy was training in the Nigerian Defense Academy, got killed in Kaduna. We approached the court. The court awarded $75,000. You know the reaction of our government? Not only has the money not been paid, our government, the Navy, has now brought out a policy asking parents whose children are coming to the naval school, please, you have to sign that if your child dies during training, we are not going to be responsible. So you want a parent to sign the death warrant of his son. I don't know why we humiliate ourselves. So the point I'm making therefore is that the government of Nigeria has to recognize, has to make a declaration accepting the jurisdiction of the African Court on Human Rights, so that Nigerians whose rights are violated, whether in South Africa or Libya or anywhere, can approach the court. We haven't done that.
But that's a long-drawn process, because
It's
a
not
lot of people are looking at the possibility of, say, for instance, the government comes out, as it has always done, to come up and set up a committee to look into the immediate requests.
No, this is not a part-time matter.
And then have people compensated to a good level.
No, the government can, through the African Union, because the African Union is taking out of Libya more than 20,000 Africans who are stranded in that country. The government of Nigeria can, using the instrumentality of the AU, demand for compensation for those who have been enslaved. Just to illustrate the point I was making, a Nigerian, a citizen of Niger, Adija Tukaru, sued the government of that country because she was enslaved for 9 years through forced marriage. The guy won the case in the ECOWAS court, and she was awarded 15 million sefa by the court. And that case was used by the government of Niger to re-abolish slavery. The money was paid, unlike our own situation. So the government has to show respect for the rule of law. The government has to show respect for the human rights of our people. The government has to show the willingness to protect the rights, the life of every Nigerian, wherever they may be located in any part of the world. But we are not doing that yet. And that is why our citizens are killed recklessly.
Thank you so much indeed, Femi Falana, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, talking those very two important developments in Nigeria. Many thanks for coming on Sunrise Daily. And we'll be back after these messages. Join us again.